Oh god, this is one of those games that forces a resolution on your monitor. Do you know how hard it is to record that nowadays? All of my screens go black for 5 seconds whenever I tab into this game until I force my primary monitor to be 640 by 480 by default. I gotta be honest, this title screen isn't actually all that convincing when you know how the title screen should look inside out. Like, this parallax scrolling doesn't even look slightly close. None of this water is animated. These two screens aren't even close to the same aspect ratio. Also, you can see the normal background behind the evil one still. Why does the normal background not have the Sega logo but the evil one does? And the trademark symbol? What are these two smudges meant to be? Blood? Rust? Chocolate? Game is meant to be imitating Sonic 1 and yet has a Sonic 3 file select screen. Only one of these characters was ever in Sonic 1. At the time this was made anyway, thanks Christian Whitehead. Earthbound music? Suddenly Kefka. The ring count and timer completely ignores the fade. This HUD isn't even slightly accurate either. The timer doesn't even start at 0, how does that happen? It's not possible to be playing with 0 lives in a Sonic game. Also, why does Tails' life icon look like that? He's seen the horrors before he's even experienced them. Why is Tails jittering like that? None of this water is animated either. And there's no parallax scrolling backgrounds either, you at least had that in the title screen. Sliding! Gameplay! Oh no, not Flicky, Pocky, and Pecky. Does anyone actually have any attachment to the animal bodies? Tails isn't even slightly concerned by this. Playing the first note and cutting out without a fade is a weird way to stop the music. Can you not make the static that loud? Crimson.EXE is cross-eyed in this sprite. You phrase this like a question, yet we don't have any say in this matter. Why is hide and seek not labeled with an act number?
What a baby.
Klonoa music? I'm gonna be real, I heard this song here before I ever knew what Klonoa was. Well, this isn't much of a fair game of hide and seek, there's no hiding spots. It's like playing hide and seek on a super flat Minecraft world with generate structures disabled. How much do you want to bet this entire creepypasta was inspired by just the drowning music? Why is this sprite of Crimson.EXE modeled off Sonic's Sonic 3 sprite and not the Sonic 1 sprite like before? Crimson.EXE is significantly larger in this sprite for some reason. This is apparently meant to be Crimson.EXE lunging at Tails, but it looks like he's just reaching out to snap Tails' neck at best. Maybe you could have had it move forward a bit? You're too slow? I thought this was hide and seek, not tag.
You're too slow!
I'm definitely one to talk about this, but there's a missing apostrophe in your. Ask if we want to try again and doesn't give us the option to do so. There's also another missing apostrophe in can't. If none of the other zones have acts, what is the point of giving Hill one? Why does the timer not reset between zones? Oh cool, everyone does that. How difficult is it to keep someone still on a flat surface? More Earthbound music. I mean sheesh, at least Hill's music was made to sound like music from a Sega Genesis. I get this is on a CD and doesn't claim to be a Sega Genesis ROM, so it's not actually impossible, but still, it's really unfitting. I'm not supposed to be able to do this. Well, game's broken. Sorry X, looks like I can't play your game. And sorry viewers, looks like you're gonna have to settle with old YouTube footage. Oh, that's very convincing. I don't know about you, but this doesn't look like sobbing to me. Also, why does he just keel over with no warning? Why does Knuckles make such a girly scream? So many souls to play with, so little time, would you agree? Crimson, I could have waited as long as I wanted to and you would have not done a thing about it. Which, by the way, the game doesn't automatically kill me after 10 minutes. Also, your music doesn't loop properly either. Also, apparently 2 victims is considered so many to this thing. Robotnik is concerningly excited about this. As much as I love Hill.Gym the music track and how well it works despite this, I have to sin the fact that ... and Hill play the same track, just Hill is in reverse. These fire animations are playing in reverse. It took you 3 stages to do anything with the y-axis. Is the camera meant to pan down here? Dude, personal space. Also, clean your teeth. Even I have better teeth than you, and I'm British. Ow, my ears. We don't ever get to play round 2. Also, your question mark is cut off by the edge of the screen. You fixed this bug for the timer but not the ring count. The ring count doesn't even change. This isn't the correct font either. The clouds overlap the hills. Breaking the fourth wall by anyone other than the godlike demon. Why did Tails do that? The drop shadow for the score doesn't match the actual score anymore. Hilarious. Knuckles is brought back onto his feet when Crimson.EXE kills him. At least he's not smiling with glee now, but was the anime sweat drop necessary? Do you know how wasteful it is to maintain a blue flame? You can quite easily still see that the flame graphic is still there. Making it black does not make it invisible. Now that the camera pan goes so low, you can see where the floor ends. Okay, I thought that was just the YouTube video I used at first, but nope, you can really clearly hear that the static keeps playing after God here gets in your face. For a godlike entity, you sure are uncreative with your methods of slaughter. Also, isn't everyone meant to be like a different color? Like, you can't tell me this TV screen just makes Tails' fur look black, but the blood is colored how it should be. You change the font again and it's still not right. Why are the flowers damaged but not the trees? Don't tell me Crimson is unable to chop some wood or reach or climb up for some leaves. Why was the scream here changed but not the one for Knuckles? That's not pixel art. Also, it took 3 revisions over 4 months to both remove the Sega logo and also center the image so you don't see the normal title screen behind it. That being said, you didn't hide the Sega logo that well. And the trademark symbol wasn't hidden at all. Also, this screen's logo is off-center, which, while consistent with the original game, is not consistent to the fake normal logo right before it. Tails' tails are not animated in these sprites. Why does Tails point so accusingly? Does he know that's not the real Sonic? Oh, sweet chili dogs the mixels. The tears aren't even drawn consistently between both frames. Does this screen really need to be different to the I Am God screen? And this one too, this is starting to feel like an excuse to just insert fan art. Not all of us are bilingual, Crimson. That is still not correct. Neither is that, and it kills me because this is definitely a font from a Sonic game. Oh, you think you're being real sly there, aren't you? It took 4 revisions to have Crimson draw blood from someone in-game. Knuckles' name is no longer abbreviated correctly. I don't think this animation was meant to play over twice. It is way too easy to just override the animation of Knuckles flinching. You made that goofy sweat drop his character select screen portrait. And his life icon? But Sonic? Okay, now you're doing your own thing here. This wasn't in the original creepypasta. Why does this stage have the life count missing but the rest of the HUD present? The background music for this stage is literally just a slowed down modem dial-up sound. Why is this static effect different to any other instance of static? Suddenly Geigus. Also, I know this is more of a problem with Earthbound and the static filter actually somewhat helps with this, but holy epilepsy warning. Oh, you've got to be joking. Did we really need a 4th separate render of Crimson's face? Also, why is its ears curved now? That wasn't in the other 3 renders. Static heard, but no actual static displayed. What happened to version 6 through 665? Well, the water is finally animated now after 5 revisions. It's no longer the same color as it is in the original game. Or the previous versions for that matter. And also it now has less parallax scrolling. It's also missing the copyright text now. Okay, aside from this not being the correct font yet again. And also it not being the correct color anymore. Now you're using the Sonic 2 design for the HUD. Also counting milliseconds? No classic Sonic game has ever done that. At the time this was made anyway, thanks Christian Whitehead. Also, you don't count. It took 5 revisions to add jumping. Also, that is not a Genesis era jumping sprite. Also, Tails' tails aren't visible. It also took 5 revisions and apparent recode to fix the jitterbug issue. Hyper-realistic Doge. What the hell happened to Pocky's sprite? Did you delete the white parts when trying to background removal or something? Finally, slightly more level layout variety. I mean, okay, fair enough, I guess that makes sense, but why can't you just skip one of the most iconic parts of this game? Why was this sound effect altered? It's such an innocuous thing to change. I get the death screen is meant to have echo now, but it just sounds like it's playing over itself. Okay. Since when did this game have rules? Also, if you didn't want me going that way, why not just keep the invisible wall you had in previous versions? Holy epilepsy warning! A Clockwork Orange? These songs aren't even from video games anymore. What was adding the player's name necessary for? Also, cool, I'm doxxed now. Hate to be that guy, but you can't listen to something you read. Why am I allowed to just do this as many times as I want? The sprite of Knuckles kneeling doesn't disappear. Oh my god, those are transparent pixels where the mouse should be. How did that happen? What the hell am I listening to? Is that tile set from Sonic Advance 2? Also, that background is pretty obviously reused from You Can't Run, which I was already being generous, not sinning it for being reused from the character select screen. This is 2/3 through this game, dude. Which game over screen is better is subjective, but this one doesn't have Knuckles or Eggman in it. Wow, human choirs, how gut-wrenchingly terrifying of an OST you got there. You can no longer just close the game by closing the window, you have to use Task Manager now. Why do you feel the need to change the font almost every single time? Also, yeah, it's not accurate to the original game again, who could have guessed? Oh god, did you add bilinear filtering to all the sprites? That's the real horror story right here. Abe's Odyssey music now. There's not a single track from a Sonic game besides the title screen and game over music. It is way too easy to cause a desync between when you hit the ground and when the jump animation stops. Why is Crimson-X illuminated way brighter than anything else? How is a ring assigned a negative value? Is it made of antimatter or something? Tails' tails don't turn as they're subjected to gravity. Did you really never fix this sprite?
Hello. Do you want to play with me?
Oh god, you added voice acting?
I will eat your heart.
You don't end up doing that. It took 6 revisions to give Knuckles the ability to do the one thing that gave him his namesake. Also, why isn't this icon pixel art? Knuckles' jump animation faces left regardless of what direction you're actually facing. Yeah, these fire animations never got fixed. I thought only the blood was meant to be hyper-realistic, not the everything. Sure hope you went left twice in every level to collect the 3 antimatter rings, otherwise you don't get the secret ending. Speaking of the secret stage, why isn't it in the last version? Okay, you're officially reaching cornball levels with these IRL picture jump scares. What did I tell you about personal space?